But first I'm going to get into, well, the dragon weights. Okay, so by now you guys probably know that I partnered up with Carolina Lake Weights, and for no really other reason than the fact that I love the people there. And there's other companies, other dragon weight companies out there. They're all great people too. It's just that no matter what, Jamie and Rebecca and them, even back before everything, you know, they still took good care of me. So, and I wanted to help them out. And then of course, you know, just do a little something extra for the catfish community and try to help out, you know, a couple different businesses. But that being said, I've also partnered up with John Bubba New with his magic sticks, right? So he's also making these in a green and black, which are going to be my signature flow or signature weights. Oh, and also Carolina Lake Weights is going to make a straight black 3 and 4 ounce weight. That's going to be my signature weight they make also. But like I've said this in another video, these two weights, which everybody, I think when I did it, people asked me what's a slinky weight. Well, I would consider this a slinky weight, right? And this is a stick bait for obvious reasons. So one is a lot more rigid. This one here is, it's gonna allow you to get a little bit more, you know, into structure, so to speak. But from my experience on this river here, because I'll drag through anything, you know, I'll chance it, you know, risk it for the biscuit, they say, because I know that if I could ever make it through it, if I could ever get that bait to come up and fall in a certain spot, the potential to catch a monster is there. And it has happened a few times where I've caught some big fish out of some pretty gnarly stuff. But anyway, so these two are, you know, they're both 4 ounce weights. And the thing about this one is it gives me a lot better feedback on the rod tip. Now see, I'm just going to compare the two. That's why I've only got 2 rods out. But when I have it on the center rod, if you watch any of my videos, you'll see I've got, you know, 2 planer boards on this side, 2 planer boards on that side. And planer boards is something else I'm going to go over here later on in this video. But the center rod, I use that, and you know, and why a lot of people don't run too many of them like that, I don't understand why. But I've caught some of my bigger fish on that rod that's just thrown out down the center. But also at the same time, like I said in the previous video, is that if I'm fishing a new area, a new spot, you know, a place that I don't have a whole lot of knowledge of, and there's still plenty of that out here that I don't have a whole lot of knowledge of, I want to know what the bottom is, right? So I want to know if it's a sand or, you know, a mud, soft sand bottom. I want to know if it's like a pea gravel, maybe shell bed type bottom, or is it a chunk rock bottom, or is it just, you know, well, obviously if it's littered with structure, you'll be able to see it on your graphs. But I want to know. So for instance, the reason why I say that is I got a spot in Kentucky, a stretch in Kentucky, and what it is, it's a straight stretch of river. I mean, the channel's straight, but the bank has rock points that come out, right? And they're just points that come out. And so in between the rock points, well, as you come across the rock point, it's pretty rocky. You could see it, and pretty much, you know, I ain't gonna say I get hung up every time, but I have the potential to get hung up every single time I go across it. But once I get past that rock point, now it turns into like a slick mud bottom with some scattered rock. And so, and I can identify that by using a stick style weight, because this will give me direct feedback to my rod tip, where this one like this will kind of take away a lot of that. But this will sometimes make it through that stuff a little bit better than this one will. So it's all about what it is. But but anyway, back to that. So I noticed that when I went over the rock, and I could see it, like, golly, you know, hope I don't get hung up. But once everything calmed down, I was getting fish. So that day, it led me to have a pattern where I know that in between these rock points, there's a potential to have, you know, 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5 fish in that spot. So that was just something that I was able to. I took that by using this, and then I went to a different spot. It looked exactly the same, and then I could read the bottom with this, and then I could see that, you know, I was coming in the same area, and bam, caught fish again. So that was just a pattern for that day. But that's something I wouldn't have keyed in on, you know, if I was just using this. So like I said, for me, these 2 different style weights, they definitely have their purpose. If it's a place that I already know, if it's a place that I know that's got, you know, pretty decent little hang up, stuff like that. Well, I'm going to start out with this. I already know what the bottom is. I fished it before.